Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I know we've got people all over the world. Thursday night, 7 p.m. UK time. We are live. So, I just want to say, if you are joining me live, say hi. Because I don't want to be lonely and here on my own. I don't care. I'm not sad. Um, if you're joining me here live, join in, say hi, drop a comment. It's always good to hear from you and have these things always go better when there's input from people who are on the call. If you're joining on the replay as well, that's fine. You can still interact on the replay. You can still drop comments. You can still ask questions. Most importantly, on this live here today, you can ask in the comments. You can ask questions. So if you're watching, say hi. Watching on the replay, say hi. I want to say that this call this evening, the subject that we're going to talk about, was inspired by a conversation I had with Phil, a client of mine who's often on here. Because during a session we were talking about purpose, right? And we talked about it a bit. But I think I wanted to go a bit deeper into what does purpose mean? Okay, because I love finding getting people to live with their purpose and passion and having meaning. And so I wanted to go down into a bit more of what that means. What does it mean to live with purpose? Because it can mean it can mean different things to different people. And so I wanted to go down a little bit deeper into the levels of what it could mean, because it can mean a big thing, but it can actually mean that you're doing something to get you to where you want to go. So that's what I wanted to talk about this evening. Like I said, if you're here, say hi, drop a comment, drop a like. Yeah, just join in the conversation. Anyway, so why do I talk about purpose? Right? That's a good question. Why would you bother listening to me talking about purpose? In a very small nutshell, small period of time, I felt at a point in my life where I was going along through life and I hadn't particularly found that thing. I also describe. Oh, you've got one comment from someone. Hello, Michaela. How are you? I also followed along that one thing about finding my purpose. So I thought I'd go a bit deeper into that. When I did find it, then actually it wasn't a smooth path to developing it. And so I thought I'd just share this evening about how it can mean multiple different things. So the first thing is like finding that thing, right? Finding that purpose in life, the high level, that one thing, that's kind of could be the end goal, right? That could be the ultimate level that you want to be at. And that's what a lot of people are striving for. But there are stages along the way that can mean different things or can be in play to get you there, right? So the first thing is, yes, you need to do some work on finding out what your purpose is if you feel you haven't found it. The next kind of level of looking at your purpose is to be honest with yourself. And what I mean by being honest with yourself is like working out where that purpose fits into your life. And what I mean by this is that it can fit into your life in a point of, is it something that you want to do that's going to bring you happiness, that's just a hobby? Or is it something you want to do to bring you money? Something you want to do for a living, like me. Um, excuse me. This is absolutely 100% my purpose, and I do it because I love it. Would I do it for free? I've done it for free in the past. However, I believe there can be an exchange, and I believe the more I do, the more I earn out of it, the more I can share, and the more I can work with other people. So it's absolutely my purpose. So that then when you start to work on the thing that you've got, you then can take it down to another level and say, well, if I understand what I want to do and understand what my purpose is, how do I need to get there? And so you can understand, and then, as to use like common terminology, you then can say, well, if it's a hobby, then it's just a hobby, right? And that's fine. There's nothing like you can live yourself. You can live a purpose through a hobby, and your hobby is giving you a purpose. So that purpose might be, for example, your purpose might be to, let's just say, rescue donkeys, right? To help rescue donkeys, or to rescue donkeys. Do you want to do that for your life? Is it going to make you any money? Maybe not. Maybe you could make a business out of it, but maybe that's just what you want to do. So then what you do to get you into that position, you're then doing on purpose. So then you're saying, well, if I work during the day doing whatever my job is, and I'm doing that on purpose to then allow me to go and rescue and look after donkeys, then all of your life then becomes purposeful. There becomes a purpose for while you're doing a job, which you may be your vocation or whatever, but that job then has a purpose, and that purpose for that job is to get you into a position where you can go out and rescue donkeys or do something like that, whatever you choose. So then your purpose becomes two level, right? So you've got the thing that you love doing, but it's a hobby and you don't want to make any money out of it, and then you're purposefully doing your daily work or daily whatever it is you do, and the purpose to that is to get you in the position where you can go and help the donkeys. So then you've got two levels of purpose. Your daytime job may not be your life and soul and absolutely love it and heart and what you want to do, but you're doing it for a purpose to give you the ability to go out and do things on purpose. There's a lot of purposes in that sentence. So it isn't always cut and dry. It isn't always straightforward, or there is always multi-levels as to what doing things with and on purpose mean. And that's what it's important to try and work out what it is for you. That's if you've got something that's maybe a purposeful hobby for you, your daytime then becomes on purpose for you to put you in a position to do your hobby. You may decide, and you can do both, right? So you may decide that you have got a purpose, let's just take me for example, like this, and it is something that you want to do and earn and make money from, but then you may decide whatever it is for you, you may decide that you want to be a coach, right? So how does that then work? Like, you may decide you're passionate about helping people. How does that then work? So there's two ways and that's your purpose, right? And you've trained and you understand it. So then how does that then work? Well, then your purpose is the higher level, higher layer is that you want to help people, and you would have done some training and some understanding and put yourself in a position where you want to do that. But it's going to take you a time to build up to a point where that's going to bring you in. Sorry, I'm just going to change my screens. Into a point where you can support yourself. And as you call it these days, it then becomes, okay, so the purpose of what you want to do is, this is my purpose. I want to help people and I need to build it up. So it then becomes a side hustle. So in order to grow your side hustle for your purpose of helping people, You then need to still to do your day job for a lot of people. Well, there's two ways you can do it. You can give everything up and go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus solely on my purpose, and I'm going to get, money from somewhere else or whatever you want to do. And this is what I'm going to do. And that's what some people do. What I've been told in the path that a lot of people go along is that you build your purpose. You start working your day. You start working how you earn and create money to then springboard you into building up your business or the thing that's not a hobby, like rescuing donkeys, or which may be like coaching people. So you maximize your daytime, or you maximizing your earning potential in other ways to put into that thing that you've got that's your purpose, that you do in evenings or weekends, or when maybe you work shift and do it other times. So then you have something that you definitely want to do on purpose. That's not just a hobby. You want it to be your life, and you want it to be a business. And at the same time, you've got another purpose again of coming back to your daytime position and your daytime role, and saying, I'm doing this. This is the purpose. And you might not like it. It might be shit. You might think it's boring and not enjoy it. And what you then have is, this is the reason why I'm doing it. There's a purpose to what I'm doing, and I'm doing it on purpose to make sure I get to where I want to be, and I can put myself into training, earning. If it's a business, and maybe you may need equipment, you may need skills, you may need advertising, you may need, if it's an online business, you need software. If it's a brick and mortar business, you might need premises. There's all kinds of things that you might need to set yourself up, and then your daytime work becomes on purpose. So what I'm saying is there's multi levels to the word of to being, going through, being, doing, and working purposefully and on purpose to get to a particular goal. And when I was talking to Phil the other day, we were talking about purpose, and I think when I've spoken on these things before, it was not clear that there's multi levels. My goal when looking at people, when looking at getting people on purpose and having their life on purpose, is that everything that you were doing, not everything in your life, but the things that you were doing, the steps you were taking, are towards that goal. And so each step that you do is on purpose. So if you choose to do something, you choose to take a step, you choose to work somewhere, you choose to take a training course, you choose to buy some equipment, you choose to do whatever, that is on purpose and in pursuit of your further, bigger, higher purpose. Why I think that works, and why you go along this path, is because I see so many people going, I want to do this, but they're going round and round in circles and ending up back at the start over and over again. And the reason I think that happens is because that true purpose isn't there, and then you're not taking every step along the way purposefully in pursuit of your goal. And once you've got that further goal and you've got that clarity of purpose, it then becomes easier when something comes into your life to say that I then don't need to do that because this is not for me, because it's not on purpose. Like you might get some, I don't know, let's just say your purpose is to be a coach, right? So each step you need to take on purpose is in pursuit of that. And then someone comes along and goes, oh, okay, well, you can be a coach, but why don't you try crypto trading? And you go, oh, that sounds like a good idea. No. Okay, when you've got your goal and you've got your understanding, and you're doing things on purpose to get to your purpose, then you have your blinkers on. Still need to be open-minded, but you have your blinkers on, and you can knock away, and you fall away from the shiny object syndrome. You fall away from going down dead ends, and you fall away from wasting your time, energy, and money on shit that's not supporting your actual purpose. So you know you've got clarity of your purpose, and you can say, you can ask yourself, is this going to get me closer to my goal? And if it's like I said, some, as we see on Instagram or something like that, oh, you could be a crypto trader. Don't worry, you'll make 10 grand in the next month. And you think, oh, that sounds like a good idea. No, it's not on purpose for you, so you can learn to ignore it. So that's kind of it. That's why I wanted to share with you tonight. Understanding when you're doing things, what your purpose is, but also there's different layers of when you're doing things on purpose and you're still doing things that are not exactly in a line with where you're going, that you're still doing for the purposefully to get you where you want to be. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. We've only got Michaela on here tonight. So hi, Michaela. Thanks for coming. Have you got any questions, Michaela? If you haven't, that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. There's someone else viewing at the moment. If you're just joined, we've just been talking about purpose, but I can share the replay with you. So, no, you agree, Michaela, with what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's about clearly understanding what your purpose is. And when you take that step, and the next step, and the next step, and the next step, that they are on purpose. And I shared this with, I think, a few people that were in a course that I did last week and the week before. But there's an old Chinese proverb or saying or whatever it is, and it is very simple that, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And I agree with that. And I think we need to be wary of saying that first step needs to be in the right direction, and that next step and next step and next step and next step all need to be in the right direction, because you can easily take a load of steps in a load of different directions and get nowhere. You can take 1,000 steps and them all be in twist and turning and get absolutely nowhere with those 1,000 steps. So yes, I think that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. And I've learned through my journey. How have I learned that? Because I've taken so many steps in the wrong direction, and I fucked it up so many times, and I've been so guilty of being distracted by shiny object syndrome or other things that come along in my path on the way, that I have learned that when you've got something that you can, and that's on purpose, that other things that you do are on purpose as well. And so everything that you do is pointing towards where you're trying to be. Okay. So like I said, if you're watching on the replay, you can ask questions, you can drop comments. If you're going to drop a comment, just tag me in it. So, because sometimes I get lost and I'll answer a question. If you've got any questions, you can drop them in the comments. You can ask me direct. But other than that, I'm going to sign off for this evening on my little rant about myself, Michaela, on my rant about purpose. And I will see you next week.